Hey coin collectors, it's DC for the Big D Coin Channel, and there it is right there, the 1960 Denver Mint small date United States 1 cent coin. Kind of a famous coin in terms of collectors, and we're going to talk about that coin, and we're going to talk about where it came from. So let's talk about the where it came from part first. In 1959, the United States moved on from the wheat cent. The original Lincoln penny looked just like this on the front. Said "In God We Trust" on the top, Liberty behind Lincoln, the date under his chin, and then way down in here, there's a V, a D, and a B. Let's magnify it right up. You can kind of see them pretty clearly there, right in that spot right there. V, D, B. Sometimes the D and the B look a little hard. And it has Lincoln looking to the right. And then, of course, in 1959, they changed it to the Lincoln Memorial Cent. So it says United States of America here, E pluribus unum here, and see the dots between the E and the pluribus on each side of the unum. So this small O here, just kind of really stylized. This is the Lincoln Memorial. You can see Lincoln Way inside there, the steps. Over here you can see FG for Frank Gasparo, the engraver of the coin. And then down here it says 1 cent. Now these were smooth edge coin, brass coin, 3.11 grams, 19 millimeters in diameter. When I say they replaced the wheat ears coin, what did the wheat ears coin look like? Well, that's a good question, and here it is. Pretty much the same. You notice this one's a little shinier and much better condition. This is the 1958 Denver Mint coin. So everything the same. We get these two together. In God We Trust at the top, Liberty behind, date under the chin. Same VDB here, same smooth edge, but then when we get to the back we see it doesn't have the Lincoln Memorial with Lincoln Way inside it. It doesn't have the Frank Gasparo engraving on the back. This is the so-called wheat ears cent that went from 1909 until 1958. 1 ear of wheat. Essentially that's what they call the business end of the wheat stalk, where you get your grain from up here. E pluribus unum at the top, 1 cent in the middle, United States of America here, and no initials on the back after the 1909. So we switched over in 1959 to the Lincoln penny with the memorial reverse. In 1959, they made a bunch of them. They made almost 2 billion, 1.88 billion. In 1960, they came back out with it the second year, but there was a little bit of a problem. When they did the design the first year, it looked really good this date. It kind of smooth, went straight across here. See how the tops are all the same? When they came out with the date in 1960, it looked a little funky to have the up and downs here. And so when they originally did it, they tried to make it so it kind of stayed down, at least to the 1 and the 9. And this is not it. So remember we showed you that coin right at the beginning, the 1960D. This is it. So let's see if we can see the difference between. So this is the Philadelphia version, no mint mark. This is the Denver version with the small, what they call the small date. And if we magnify it way up, you can actually see it really well. You go straight across here, the 1 and the 9. Here you can see how much bigger the 9 is than the 1. See how it goes up a little further? We can show you another way when we show you another D on it. So this 6 actually seems like it goes over further and it's a little bit more. And then there's the D there. Here's the other thing that you need to look at in these, and that is the Denver mint mark sometimes got doubled. Sometimes they used two different, the small die and the large die on the same coin because it was a different part of the process, and you get a double D, but you don't have the double D on this side. So at the Philadelphia Mint in 1960, how many did they make? Well, they made quite a few. They made 1.58 billion. A lot, right? I'm sorry, at the Denver Mint, they made 1.58 billion. At the Philadelphia Mint, they made about 600 million. So they made a lot less of these, but it's the D one you want to look at. So let's look at some other Ds. All right, so here's another D. And these, they get really worn out. But notice how much higher this 9 goes than this one. So large date, small date. Still the same D, but still no real value in this one because we don't have the double D. Let's see, we got another one coming. Much better D, but still we see how it goes up higher. Look at the bend on that, 0. Pretty cool. Another really nice D, but again the large date and not a doubling, but some nice coloring there. Yeah, another large date, and the D is not doubled. And I think we have just one more. This one is one from the book. So the penny book, and I just took it out. It's really, really nice condition except for this up here. And this one is, again, a large date because we see that it goes a little above the top and no doubling there. So here's the small date over here. Here's the large date. We don't have a small date filly for you. I can show you a couple more fillies. See, that one's above. Boy, sometimes they're so close, but that one's just a little bit above. Let's look at this one. Oh. No, it's a little bit above. And so what happens is you make your eye want to see it sometimes, but it's really clear that the small date is significantly lower usually than this one. So, okay. Got our small date, got our large date, we got our D's that we look at, and that's pretty much all we have for the 1960 penny. How much are they worth? If you get the small date, you could be talking about sometimes $10 to $20 if it's in really good shape. If you get the D over the D, you could be talking about $300. And if you can get these in a really good condition, MS 63 or above, you start talking about a couple dollars or more. MS 65 or above, you start talking about $7 to $10 unless you get one of the small dates or one of the doublings. All right, that's all we have today. This is DC over and out from the Big D Coin Channel.